Did you know there is a set in the game that is based on items that actually exist? It's called Heaven's Brethren, which consists of the set Reinforced Mage, Dangun's Teaching, Demosis Adamant, Tebek's Glory and Onda's Almighty. The weapon is named after Dangun Wangeon, grandson of Hwanin, who has a full set named after him as well. He was the founder of the first Korean kingdom, also known as the grandson of heaven or son of a bear. And reading that of Wikipedia makes me wish this set turns you into a bear. The second part of it is Hemosus Adamant, named after He-Mo-Sul, the founder of Buyeo, who Wikipedia tells me was the son of heaven and rode in a chariot of 5 dragons, which, not gonna lie, sounds amazing. Third part is Tebek's Glory, which is named after the Tebek Mountains, a mountain ridge that stretches along North and South Korea. They probably tried to incorporate this into the design of the shield by making it as hard to use as climbing a mountain, which is the only reason I can think of why this thing has such outrageous requirements. The final piece of the set is Onda's Almighty, based on Ondal the Brave, who was a Korean general who, according to legend, was unusually tall, handsome and had a good heart. I face the same issues in life. I know, it's horrible, but I make do. According to his wiki page, he was a beggar, which seems like a perfect segue into asking to check if you're subscribed and thanking the channel members and Patreon. For the final shill of this video, I have a Mana Traders referral link, so if you're into Magic Online and want to support me, check it out. There's also a NordVPN referral link there, for if you live in a place where porn got blocked. You can find both of them in the description and the top comment. The title of the video said these items actually existed. Unfortunately, I couldn't find where they are, or if they still exist, but I did end up finding pictures of what they are based on. If anyone knows if these things still exist and where they are, I'll gladly do another run with the set and give this video a part 2. Hell, if this gets enough views, I'll fucking fly to wherever the items are and I'll take a picture of me doing a face reveal with them. Cause I need to hit level 81 to equip this shield. I don't really see the point of making this a solo self-found run. I usually finish those at about level 75, so it'll be more of a challenge to even get that high in the first place. To make the grind a bit less horrible, I'm going to break out a shared stash for this one, starting off by giving myself the Hasaris combo for the attack rating it gives. Once I reach level 6, I'm giving myself a Nell Striker, which is probably just the best early game weapon in the game. Seriously, just every mod on this thing is amazing. If I would make a checklist of things I want in Act 1 normal, this would be it. I also go ahead and give myself the Death Gloves and Belt. They give Life Leech, massive poison length reduction, which is perfect for the Ondario fight, cannot be frozen, increased attack speed and 15 resist all. This combo on its own is probably better than most of the gear I end up with on a regular run. So yeah, calling this pretty good is a big understatement, like this shit rocks. In the underground passage I encounter Sinbang, a funny coincidence cause that used to be my old college nickname. This won't end as a bash run, but it starts out as one. Bash's knockback can be annoying, but it does allow you to stunlock things against a wall, which is very strong. At level 11 I go and grab the Angelic combo, which consists of the amulet and the ring. There is no real need for me to do counters farming on this run, however I still do it cause it's the best way to level up. Armor wise there is no other option in the early game, so just like in every other run I put a Tal and an Edrune into an armor and make the stealth. I get some revenge against the smith, who thanks to my being wildly overpowered I just get to bully in his own home. After his death I go ahead and rob his place as well. I mean, I murdered him, I might as well steal his stuff while I'm there. After that I ran out of poor taste jokes for a bit, so I go and fight Antariel, followed up by fighting Turiel, who thanks to our gear isn't a problem at all. He drops Satellite Gauntlets, which are Irathas, a set that impressed me way more than I expected it to when I did a run with it. In Act 3 I reach level 25, which means I get to go grab some upgrades. For myself I grab some Natalia boots. These have a pile of resistances and 40 faster run walk. For my mercenary I grab a spirit, but like usual I was a bit premature. I hired him at level 24 instead of 25. Tarnhelm requires level 15, so he does get that. Act 3 mercenaries rely on faster cast rate, so I go ahead and give him my stealth while I equip a Thridge Throw. With the Hasaros combo broken and my damage due for an upgrade, I go ahead and give myself one of the sweetest items in the game, Bone Snap. As a two-hander it feels much more familiar to my hands, and just look at the numbers on that puppy. A boatload of damage, 40% crushing blow and some nice resistances to boot. Bone Snap rules. I also kept going and got my Merc to level 25 as well, so now he can wear the spirit. The Mephisto fight lasted just a few seconds, but I'm not one to judge. Diablo normally is a hard knock fight for us. But instead of kisses, we go ahead and kick him. Because I need to hit level 81 in Nightmare anyway, I decide to do some serious Eldritch farming and hit level 35, which allows me to equip a few new items. For my weapon, I grab myself an upgraded steel driver. I can explain why, but I kind of just want to bonk some things on the head with a big hammer, which is exactly what I do to Bill, meaning we have, surprise surprise, made it through normal. Before I head into Nightmare, I want to go and level up some more. To farm levels, I head into the Terror Zones, where a unique shark skin belt drops. If I wasn't doing a Heaven's Brethren set run, I would switch to a throw bob to use Razor Tail, cause it's best in slot for that build, thanks to its big bonus to pierce on it. Looking at it now, the attacker takes damage on character level makes me want to play a pacifist. I'm kinda curious how strong I could get it. It'll have to get in line though, so many builds to play, so little time. I wish I was 6 people, that way I might get through all of the runs I want to do at some point. The Antariel fight is nothing more than a short session of hammer smash face, turning the catacombs into the tomb of the mutilated. In Act 2, I take care of the wretched spawn Redamant. In the Mega Lair, I encounter my first physical immune. I haven't spec'd to Berserk yet, so for now, Kashev has to take care of him. I've also made it to level 44 now, allowing me to wear Himosu's Adamant. This armor's claim to fame is a huge pile of defense, 500 of it to be exact. It also has some defense to melee and to missile, coupled with 75 life. For some reason, this armor has minus 20% requirements. I don't get why though, the requirements on this aren't high to begin with and the rest of the set just requires way more. Level 45 allows me to get Cannot Be Frozen back thanks to a Raven Frost. I chose this cause after taking off the Death's combo I needed to get Cannot Be Frozen again. I'll also take the dexterity and attack rating as a bonus. The cold absorb doesn't hurt either. It comes in just in time for the Duriel fight. His holy freeze still chills me, but the cold damage doesn't freeze me at least, and yes, those are two different effects. In Act 3, a fight to the death occurs for the Kid Bin. It was close, but I scrape it out. As a thank you, almost brings the mad disrespect by tossing my ring straight on the ground. He isn't wrong though, so I sell it right back to him. The next physical immune crosses my way in the Flayer dungeon, reminding me I should really get on that Berserk spec. The Hellforge drops me a Lem rune. Diablo can light the entire world in flames, but it's not much of a lunar strain to take him down. At level 47, I go ahead and equip the next piece of gear I want to wear. Gore Riders are some of the best melee boots in the game. They have faster run walk, crushing blow, deadly strike and open wounds. A melee character's wet dream. Remember me talking about being premature? These boots are why. They're that good. It takes a couple of resets to get the ancients to spawn without cursed on them. Without it, I can take all 3 of them at the same time, allowing me to bonk them as long as my heart desires. With Bale defeated, the hardest part of the run comes now. I want to test the Heaven's Brethren set. To do that, I need to wear it. To wear it, I need to be level 81. Like seriously, what were they thinking? It's a good thing I did a ton of grinding for levels. I farmed Eldritch in normal, I farmed Eldritch in Nightmare. How far away could I be? What level am I? Well, I'm apparently level 56. I need to farm 25 levels. Oh boy, that'll take a while. The grind starts in Nilatak's temple. Player's 8 Pindleskin is an amazing experience farm. He's right at the door for the portal, and as long as you're careful, he isn't too dangerous. Do keep an eye open though. If he spawns with cursed or extra strong, he can hit like a truck. During my farming, it ends up getting terrorized as well, which is perfect. This makes it so that the area is always 2 levels above my own, making it the best farm I could ask for. While farming, new gear unlocks all the time. Laying of Hands has 20 increased attack speed, 350% damage to demons and 50 fire resist. Did I mention 350% damage to demons already? This mod is more damage to demons than most weapons in the game. This is another one of those completely cracked up pieces of gear. Like, what were they thinking? 350? What? So yeah, an easy choice to wear. The other piece I get is a High Lord's Wrath. +1 skills, 20 increased attack speed and a huge amount of deadly strike makes this another obvious choice. This does break the angelic combo, so I go ahead and equip a rare ring with some attack rating, life leech and resistances. At level 68 I finally unlock the second piece of the set. For comparison, usually I'm in like Act 4 hell or something at this point. But now I get to equip a Dangoon's Teaching. It's the set reinforced mace. A strange one for sure. 10% to cast Frozen Novan Striking, 40 increased attack speed, max damage based on level, 20 to 30 fire damage, and I added the socket to it myself. Doesn't come with that. The weird part of it is that this doesn't have any real damage on it. No enhanced damage, no deadly strike, no crushing blow. There is just kinda nothing except the max damage per level, which all in all makes the damage pretty disappointing. You can even see me double checking if everything is correct when I'm about to equip it. Just about the only thing this weapon has going for it is that that it's crazy fast at triggering Frozen Nova for crowd control, which turns out to be all it does. No matter how you slice it, this weapon is a massive downgrade from the steel driver I was using. A few runs later I level up again, which feels terrible because it means I'm going to trade in my beautiful Ariats for an Ondos Almighty. I might be the first person ever to do this, by the way, like upgrade an Ariats to an Ondos, like oh my god, it's so trash. This unique looking helm has 10% chance to cast level 3 Weaken on striking. Weaken is a necromancer skill. It lowers the physical damage monsters deal to you. At level 3 it reduces the damage by 35%. It also sports 24 faster hit recovery, 50 defense, woohoo, a bunch of strength and dex, and once again minus requirements. Which at least makes sense this time, because even at minus 40% this helm requires a whopping 116 strength. We don't talk about the shield. No wonder this barbarian has such a big neck. He needed to wear this heavy crown. This set has me experiencing something new. Every time I equip a new piece of it, I feel like I'm leveling down instead of up. Every run is a new experience, I guess. Not gonna lie though, I could have done without this one. The theme of this set should be apparent at this point. It's all defense all the time. To improve on that, I decided to upgrade the armor using the Horadric Cube, but it turns out to be a bad decision. When upgraded, the armor loses its cool skin and it turns back into a normal Great Halberd. No amount of defenses is worth losing the only cool thing this thing had going for it. Cause my barbarian was playing the game with one arm, I go ahead and give him a shield for now. It's a spirit shield that I'll use until I get to equip the ward. Belt wise, I go and give myself a Nosferatu's coil cause it has increased attack speed, life leech and slow. To at least get back some of my swagger, I go and save my barbarian brethren. I also go and hire one of my brothers from Kelkak. Hanaf becomes my new bar bro. To celebrate him joining my suffering, I give him the Sazabi set, or at least I try to. Once again, I am premature and he has to wait for me to catch my breath before he can equip the Sazabi sword. At this point, the Pindle Terror Zone has ended, so I head into the next of many terror zones before I hit level 81. The outer steps aren't a particularly great zone or anything, but terrorized is terrorized. The monster density is a bit low for my taste here, so I decide to go and do some bail runs instead, where Hanaf ends up getting to level 73, allowing him to join in on team safety over damage. The Sazabi set bonuses involve +1 to skills, 40 run walk, 15 life leech, an insane 27% maximum life, 30 resist all, 16 physical damage reduction and 75% poison length reduction. Seriously, it's probably better than the set I'm wearing. Next terror zone up is the Pits of Acheron. This area will be a good test to see how tanky Hanaf and my own setups truly are. And they do not disappoint. Even while I'm not wearing the full set yet, I'm barely taking any damage. Now remember, this is just Nightmare. The hard part of the game is still to come, but this is looking promising for sure. As a reward for clearing the pit, a super chest will always be waiting for you. I open it up and a unique amulet drops out from it. It turns out to be a crescent moon. This is an amulet that is focused mostly on getting and keeping mana, with its 12 mana leech, 45 extra mana and 10 damage taken to mana. It also has 3 life leech and 10 magic damage. I rarely end up using this one, but if you're in dire straits for mana leech, you could always get it here. Another hour passes and another terror zone rolls around. This time it's a good one. The rocky waste has dung beetles. These are amazing experience during a regular playthrough and it's no different during a terror zone. The rocky waste is also the home of the Stony Tomb, which is the best farming zone for a fire-based character. However, the undead in here have a bunch of physical damage reduction, so the clearing speed in here isn't very good for a build like this. The item drops are though. A rare ring drops, which turns out to be a 10 faster cast rate, 65 attack rating, dual resist ring with some magic damage reduction on it. Time rolls on for everyone, so another terror zone switch happens and I find myself surrounded by Might Urthas in the River of Flame. Despite being completely surrounded, my health pool isn't even dropping. I know this is still only Nightmare, but damn, that is impressive. Another roll around later, I end up fighting a terrorized Duriel. Every once in a while he ends up dealing me exactly 1 damage, that my replenish life restores immediately. Not gonna lie, this set is really growing on me, and I'm still not even wearing the whole thing yet. While going through the other Talrash's tombs, I run into Sinbang, which gives me some deja vu, but I probably haven't told you yet that this used to be my old college nickname. Not even 3 groups of gorebellies managed to put a dent into my tankiness. Wait, what was that name in there? Greybang? Grandma? Is that you? The Grand Vizier of Chaos is the one who finally gets me to level 81. I can't get out of there fast enough and go check my new bling. Say what you like about how good this set is or how little damage it deals. It sure has some swag. Anyway, about the shield. Tayback's Glory starts off by making the minus requirements on all the other parts useless by requiring a ginormous 180 185 strength and level 81. I do think I kind of get what they're going for. The weapon has maximum damage per level, so they want you to level up a ton to use it to its full potential. Damage also gets increased by every point of strength you have, so requiring the shield to have tons of it means you get more damage off the weapon. But that still just doesn't add up with the minus requirement on the armor and helm. The shield is indestructible, like a mountain. It also has 30 faster block rate, 25 increased chance of blocking, 50 defense again, 100 mana, 30 lightning resist and 30 damage to an attacker. I once again added the sockets myself. Wearing the full set gives you +2 to all skills, maximum fire damage per level, 10 life leech, 30 life replenish, 50 resist all, 24 physical damage reduction and cannot be frozen. Before heading into hell, I have 2 more things to do. First, I need to decide on what second weapon Hanaf will be using. My choices are between a Lawbringer, a Hustle and a Crescent Moon. And yes, that is the same name as that amulet. Hustle gives fanaticism, Crescent Moon gives static and Lawbringer gives a sanctuary aura and the Grappify. I decide to give Hanaf the Lawbringer to pile on even more defenses and crowd control. The other thing I need to do before getting into hell is to fill up my sockets. I decide to put a Shield Rune in the weapon, a 15 increased attack speed jewel in the helm, a Thor Rune in the shield and a perfect diamond in the armor. I did it this way cause I figured that if I'm not dealing a lot of damage, I might as well try and hit things as fast as possible to at least deal the little bit of damage I am doing a bit faster. It also helps with triggering the Frozen Nova and Weaken. The charms I gave this character are just to compensate for the problems in this build. The damage is very low and it has trouble getting attack rating, so I fill things up with damage and attack rating charms. I added in one ground charm that has cold damage. I always like having some source of cold damage on a melee run, cause it slows the monsters down. I'm not filling up the sockets of the Sazabi set, cause I have no clue what I would want to put in them. I'm just keeping them open so that if there are any problems, they can be solved. Hell starts off with the Den of Evil, which is filled to the brim with the undead. A good thing Hanaf's Sanctuary aura makes them bounce like ping pong balls. Corpse Fire despises the aura so much that he even offers up a unique faceplate as a bribe. This can be either an Azurath or a lightsaber, but because we're in the Den of Evil, Azurath can't drop yet. The item levels just aren't high enough here, so it will always be a lightsaber. One of the most old school high-end weapons makes for a fine bribe, but the Lawbringer outperforms it by far. If only this beautiful weapon had dropped on a run where I wasn't using the shared stash, things would be very different. I just realized I haven't even talked about what build I am using. I figured that because this set is so focused on defense, I would do the same by doing this run as a concentration barb, focusing in even more on the defensive theme of the set. Concentration is a single uninterruptible swing that improves your defenses while attacking, making you get hit even less. Cause it can't be stopped, it's also the most consistent way to trigger the on-strike triggers for Frozen Nova and Weaken. Its synergies are Bash and Battle Orders. I used Bash earlier in the run and Battle Orders needs no introduction. It's so good, even other classes spent their weapon slots to get its massive health and mana pool boost. In Tristram, Griswold tries to convince me that his set is best, but if living in a democracy has taught me one thing, it is that committing crimes makes you king, so I go ahead and silence Mr. Walt. I finally specced into Berserk, so when I run into physical immunes in the jail level 1, I can just go ahead and mop them up. During the Andariel fight, the defenses prove their worth when the only thing damaging me is the poison ticking down. However, between sky high defense, Frozen Nova, Weaken and the Grappify, Andariel doesn't stand a chance. Next up, my journey brings me to the Claw Viper Temple, where Cursed Fanaticism Vipers stretch to the limit of my survivability. Concentrate is a single swing skill, so having things wait in line for that turn makes the Mega Lair a quite enjoyable experience. Even the mighty Durio cannot break through my defenses. Despite seeming like trash, these items have created a thing of beauty. For the first time in my life, my health pool doesn't even move during the fight, despite tanking him head on. I just want to keep pushing and seeing how much this build can actually take. So while Forest walking into Kuras, I face souls and hogs head on while cursed. A small chip of damage happens, but many have died trying far less. The Gloams have conviction in their cause, and while they put up a worthy fight, nothing else matters as they go down in defeat. I know that if you want to be dumb, you've got to be tough, but I'm not about to face tank a bunch of dolls. I'm just not about that life. That's what I hired Hanaf to do. His Sanctuary aura goes ahead and makes short work of them. In Kuras, rare matriarchal javelins drop. I have been picking up blue javelins for 20 years in the quest to find 640s. Rares can't get that high, but can be pretty impressive nonetheless. They go up to +5 if I'm correct, but I'm sure the commenters will tell me if I'm wrong. These ones end up having +4 to skills, and one day I will find my elusive javelins, and I will show them off something fierce. I'll dedicate an entire video to them, but for now they continue to be my Moby Dick. Having heard about just how good this set actually is, groupies are blocking my way through the ruined temple. Some angry fans are waiting for me at the other side of a small puddle of water, but let's be real, we could all just step over this. Standing here yelling for them to come at me bro is much more tough looking though, and involves a lot less doll fighting. Curiosity gets the better of me and the Barb bros dive into the fight headfirst, with each of us taking our fair share of the dolls. Next up we have the council. As we arrive they are already having guests over, making for a perfect opportunity to test myself again. With might, curse and holy shock around, something finally manages to make my life total drop a bit. The last few acts might just prove a challenge after all. Mephisto manages to get my life total below 2000 all on his own, proving that even the sturdiest of setups can still take a beating in the endgame. Besides my life total he ends up dropping nothing special. First off, it's time to pass go and collect my 2 skill points. Ishwal turns out to have quite a swing, but nothing the Barb bros can't manage. In the River of Flame I go ahead and face tank Might Aura Enchanted Champion Urdas while being cursed. These guys can swing hard, but they're not swinging hard enough for me. It ends up taking quite a while to take them down because of the damage on Dangun's teaching being so low. But I'm never in any danger during this fight. Oh, and neither is enough. The Hellforge drops me a Paul rune, which still lives in my rune mule to this day. Lawbringer's Sanctuary aura has a field day with the Chaos Sanctuary. Knocking back all the undead for free is so strong it almost feels like cheating. Man, playing strong builds is fun. I could get used to this. The Grand Vizier is the first one to offer a real scary moment. In the blink of an eye I get dealt 1.5k damage, forcing me to run back. Round 2 with the Grand Vizier I let the Lawbringer do its thing. Splitting everyone up allows me to tackle my problems one by one. There is a downside to knocking back all the undead. If you're not careful you can throw the Grand Vizier out of the Chaos Sanctuary to live on his own. I've had to reset runs to him getting stuck outside without knowing how to get back in before. Hanav's aura allows me to split up Lord Decisive from his friends and take care of him. The Venom Lords almost decimate my life total in the blink of an eye. The Chaos Sanctuary truly doesn't fuck around as it tries to test the limits of the Heaven's Brethren set. The Sazabi set ends up coming in clutch here. While I couldn't tank all of them, Hanav managed to do just fine. He stands there surrounded by enemies without falling over, allowing me to take down the Infector of Souls. Maybe I should have healed off the lower resist aura before I fought Diablo, but the big old lump doesn't even come close to making it a dangerous fight. Amartel the Fair drops in the bloody foothills. The Gavel of Pain was an unused item for a very long time, but has been picked up for uber speedrunning in recent years thanks to its level 8 amplified damage charges. It's followed up by a set ornate blade. How this got here I don't know, but this used to be Griswold's armor. We all know what happened to him, but I don't want any reminders of it to exist, so to Mala it goes. The Ancients end up as a 2-on-2 fight. I don't know what to tell you, they could barely move the health pool, so down they go. I also didn't forget about their friend. Having taken care of business, it's time for the final area of the game. The throne room opens up with my dolls, cause what else would it open with? It's not like this game just always gives me either dolls or souls or both at the end of every single run to top things off. My curiosity ends up getting the better of me and I decide to start swinging. The doll explodes and ends up dealing me a couple hundred damage. I round the corner, walking straight into a boss pack of souls. I don't know what to say here. I have no idea what I did in a previous life to have these spawns keep happening to me. Having learned my lesson from the Diablo fight, I go and heal from the lower resist before diving in and encountering Sinbang. What a coincidence, that used to be my old college nickname. What a small world. Unfortunately, there can be only one, so the mage swings down in concentration. The final hurdle for this run is clearing out the throne room. Souls and dolls together force me to keep trying to lure them out. However, the Sanctuary aura is pushing them back, making it much more difficult for them to take the bait, even if they wanted to. Hanav causes my problems, but also solves them. It takes some patience and kiting around, but in the end, a good defense does turn out to be the best offense. All in all, the Heaven's Brethren set has impressed me. Is this the best set in the game? Absolutely the fuck not. Is it better than Wearing a Greave? Fuck no. But if you want a fun, different challenge or a cheap gear setup that allows you to clear hardcore very defensively, this is your set. You will have to grind a lot to even wear it though. At level 81 it'll take you a while before you can wear it, but if you like being safe in hardcore, this is your set. I didn't even end up fully min-maxing it either. I'm not using an Annihilus or a Torch for starters. I'm sure there are better setups possible than how I did it, but I wanted to keep things easily obtainable. So none of the items I ended up using are very rare. I don't play online at all, but my guess is that the Mercenaries Lawbringer will be the hardest thing to get, cause it has a Lemrune in it. I will be surprised if people even pick up the rest of these things. things. I would also bet that going berserk or using the set on a paladin instead of a barbarian would do wonders as well. If you want to keep the defensive theme, I could easily see this set working on a holy freeze salad, or maybe a melee based enchant source or something. This set will never outperform high end gear, but I think there's a lot of fun to be had here. And be honest, you look really pretty, which is all that matters. With that, bail goes down and the run is completed. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.